You have nothing to say for
Why do they ask these questions? Read the fucking Instagram.
In reference to an arson, 1212 Vine Street. It's also wanted for stabbing in New York City. It's going to be a 60-year-old white male, Gary Joseph Cabana, date of birth 1/10/62.
The individual involved in this incident is known to us, and we are endeavoring to locate this person.
They just made the United States safe. I'm public enemy number one.
Gary coming home.
Gary Cabana is unlike most of the people we have covered on this channel. Cabana is not a gangster. In fact, he acted like he was just the opposite. He was an NYC resident who was absolutely obsessed with movies and Broadway plays. Up until 2020, all seemed well. He was living his life in NYC as a Broadway usher and failed actor. That was until the COVID-19 pandemic hit and closed down theaters across the city. This, in his own words, turned him from a cinephile to a terrorist. As the restrictions worsened, Cabana lost his job and struggled to find an apartment. People close to him reported that he began to get extremely angry, lonely and irate. He began to get furious at everyone, especially people he called no-maskers, and wrote extensively about how much he wanted them to all be killed. While months went by and restrictions due to the pandemic died down, Cabana's rage did not. The New York Post reported the following. After Cabana lost his job, he sent threatening emails between November 2021 and January to a woman at the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees office, which represents projectionists and ushers, cops said. Payback is coming, he wrote to the woman, police said. You. Police said he visited the union office on West 45th Street on 2 occasions, looking for the woman. She allegedly told police that she feared for her safety because he had assaulted a coworker recently. In January of 2022, Cabana went to the Nederlander Theater, attempting to enter with a ticket, before he was escorted out for unknown reasons. After being escorted out, Cabana spotted his former manager, and beat and punched him in the face. Later, Cabana would complain about getting kicked out of another movie theater for laughing loudly when people in the movie were killed. He continued to rant and rave about wanting a civil war in America and caused more and more disturbances, including 2 at the Museum of Modern Art in Manhattan. This caused his membership at the museum to be revoked. On Saturday, March 12, 2022, Cabana walked into the MoMA, and attempted to view a film that was being played there, only to be told by staff members that he could not enter. What happened immediately next is not clear, but it seems that Cabana briefly left the museum, only to return a short time later, holding a knife. He jumped over the counter at the front desk and cornered 2 employees, before he began brutally stabbing them in the neck, chest, torso and back. He then turned his attention to a nearby security guard and threatened him. Cabana asked the guard where his gun was. The only problem was that security guard didn't have a gun. After this, Cabana ran out of the museum and onto the street. The museum was evacuated, and the NYPD immediately began a manhunt. Cabana fled the state, traveling to Philadelphia and paying for a hotel room with cash under his middle name, Joe. While staying at the hotel, Cabana went on Instagram and began replying to commenters who went on his page after hearing about the stabbings. He ranted about how he felt like the Riddler from the new Batman movie and said he wanted to go to Florida to presumably harm former President Donald Trump. He taunted police and bragged, among other things, that he wasn't using a VPN, and that if he turned himself in he would be immediately released because of New York's bail reform laws. After staying at the hotel for a few days, it seemed that, potentially, Cabana's money was running short. On March 14, 2022, Cabana decided to set the hotel on fire. He stuffed a large amount of paper into 2 garbage cans in his room and ignited them. As the entire room was engulfed in flames, Cabana fled, planning to head to Florida. His hotel room was extensively damaged, but the fire department was able to put the blaze out. The Philadelphia police were quickly on the case, and they identified Cabana in security camera videos. The information was broadcast to all units in the area.
Arson by flash information from Central Detectives in reference to an arson, 1212 Vine Street. Also wanted for a stabbing in New York City. It's going to be a 60-year-old white male. Gary Joseph Cabana, date of birth 1/10/62. That was last seen wearing black glasses and N95 mask. A black Ramon shirt. He was last seen 2 hours ago in the Chinatown area. He also frequents train and bus stations and should be considered armed and dangerous.
At around 1:30 a.m., the manhunt was over. Officers located Cabana sleeping on a bench at a Greyhound bus terminal and placed him under arrest.
I appreciate you guys. I really do. Best cops in the United States right here, buddy.
Why'd you stab everybody?
Man, read my Instagram.
You have nothing to say for
Why do they ask these questions? Read the fucking Instagram. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Because NYPD, it just boom, right into the side of the damn. You need to hook these.
As of March 16, 2022, Cabana was charged with arson in Philadelphia and is expected to be extradited to face a large amount of additional charges for his crimes in NYC. Amazingly, both of his stabbing victims were expected to survive their injuries.